nasai. Welcome back. For the ones of you who don't know me, I'm Lucie, a certified sake sommelier and a huge fan of all things Japanese. In today's video, I would like to talk to you a little bit about serving sake. Now, if you don't live in Japan, like myself, you probably don't have access to a bunch of adorable cups like those. So I want to take up the options that we have, especially in the midst of a pandemic, to actually serve sake if something is acceptable. One of the most important rules in sake is that the actual container, the little glass, should be tiny. This is because tiny glasses need to be refilled often. And to that comes the second part. You should never fill up your own glass in Japan. The other person in your company does it for you. Now, again, in Corona times, this might be a little difficult to dig up your imaginary friend if you haven't already. If you're a restaurant person like myself, you're probably kind of used to filling up everybody's glasses. But even if you're not, it's basically just about being considerate. And to be honest, not all Japanese are that good at this game, especially as the evening proceeds and the glasses have been filled a few times. So a small cup, preferably an adorable one, and fill it up often. Well, this is the Japanese way of serving sake. In the West, we often use those containers that you might have seen, and I think I've placed them correctly. Those come from a brewery called Yumedo Yado. You can see it here. Some of you might read it. And this is actually, the little Masu box is actually a measurement of rice. So it was not originally intended to drink sake from. It is a ceremonial way of drinking sake, but it has grown extremely popular. It's not as common in Japan as you might think. A lot of small Japanese places will instead use something like this. They will use a small plate with a glass, possibly not so small, and do exactly the same thing. Pour and pour and pour until it flows over and spills. And this might be a really fun way of serving sake to your friends, especially if you want them to suffer, because it is quite difficult to handle. And there is no real etiquette to it. So what's recommended is to drink a little bit, pour whatever is on your plate into the glass, and then continue drinking. This might not be an ideal way of drinking sake, especially in Corona times with all the germs on the glass. And to be fair, personally, I prefer using something like this, which is a small, cute glass. This one is actually bought in Czech Republic in a secondhand store. And it's quite perfect as a sake cup or an Ochoko. I also like this one. Then you have to be a really, really good host. Ginjo, daiginjo, some of the nicer sakes can very well be served from a wine glass. You want to have a wine glass that's not too large, and you want it to be quite nicely shaped. This is actually a champagne glass from Riedel that I like a lot. It has a really good shape, preserves scent in a really good way. This is for the cold sakes. So you might have noticed I used this little vessel to pour my sake. This is not the real Tokkuri. Tokkuri is the name of the small item that you use to pour your sake from if you don't want to pour it directly from the bottle. Using the bottle is perfectly fine. But if you want to, cuten it up a little bit, this is actually a small vase that I found cute because I did not have a glass Tokkuri. And I even went and checked out for something else that could be usable, and I found this little vase as well that I thought was a little cute and could probably function as a Tokkuri. So that's a good alternative. Now, if you want to drink your sake warm, I would recommend you using ceramic cups. Something like this is probably really good. You could also use one of the flat ones that we used last time. There is also the option of the sake tasting cup. If you don't have sake cups at home, I found this little set that I found quite cute, which I think is for salt and pepper. It is a little thick, but it works. I also saw a bunch of really, really cute egg cups. So those are also a good alternative for a Ochoko if you don't have one at home, if you live in a country that doesn't have them easily accessible. You could also check Asian food stores for like small teacups. Those are also quite good for serving sake. So back to the problem of serving warm sake. If you want to serve warm sake, you actually have to heat it up. And that is a little troublesome if you don't have proper tools. So I have prepared a little cheating for you. You should not warm sake directly. So what I do is I pour hot water in a pot, and I use some sort of container that I can place in the hot water. And then I wait for the sake to be a little warm. I try by dropping it on my hand. And when it's warm enough, you can serve it. And then you definitely want to have one of those. Alright guys, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, don't forget the subscribe button down there. Please like the video. There is a link to the Instagram in the comments. And I have even written the weird words that you might not remember, like Ochoko and Tokkuri and Masu. So, I'll see you next week. お疲れ様です。